And welcome back to the Sharpen the Spear podcast. Another great day, another great guest. Marilyn Jenkins joins me today, and I'm going to keep the tradition alive. No one knows Marilyn better than Marilyn. Marilyn, give us a little backstory, bring us up to speed, tell us what you're doing, what we're going to talk about today, and we're going to get into an awesome conversation.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here. I've been working in digital marketing since the late 90s, which totally dates me, but I get that. I've written a few books on it, and I work with clients from helping them with their website way before when people decided they needed a website but wasn't sure why. And then they needed help getting traffic to the website, and, it's just grown from there. And over the years, I've seen a lot, learned a lot, and helped a lot of companies grow and thrive using their website, their Google business profile, and paid ads. So I'm excited to help the local business grow and increase foot traffic and phone calls. So that's what I do is I specialize now with helping people with their Google business profile and show up in the local searches and get more traffic, more business.
That's awesome. So here's the great thing about this, okay, because I think I know that no one really talks about this particular aspect of, what do we call it? Find my business. But
it used to be Google My Business, yeah.
Right.
Now it's
right.
Google Business
so
Profile. Yep.
Right. So they're getting all uppity now. It's all about the profile. So that's good. Oh, but I think that no one, way back in the day, when you talk back in the 90s, I started my first business in the late 80s, and it was Yellow Pages and it was unaffordable TV and radio ads. So you didn't do any of that. You maybe had a magazine ad. You maybe had something in the Yellow Pages. That's a phone book for you youngins. Where you actually went and found people in there, right? So they had all that, and those guys used to be the salesmen. Just we go down this little rabbit hole here. The salesmen for Yellow Pages back in the day, those guys were six-figure plus earners.
Yes.
Like selling Yellow Page ads. They used to kill it. They were in the big houses, and then the internet came. In 2000, 2001, it went away. It evaporated. It was amazing. And there's always those cycles, right, of these big things that happen, and all of a sudden things just disappear. It's like before your eyes. It was crazy. So really interesting to watch. You and I were through the tech bubble, 98, 99, and 2000, all that stuff. So you've seen a ton of digital changes. I've seen them from a very outside view. You were actually in the trenches, work with all this stuff, so I love that. But what I love now is what you're actually doing for the brick and mortar business, right? That people will have a place, these local businesses, and how they get found. So let's kind of get into it, a little bit of a high level, but let's start with why you should be doing that. Now, I know it seems Captain Obvious stuff here, so people find you, but really why is this particular place a place you should have and have it dialed in?
Well, let's talk about Google being the number one search engine and YouTube being the number two, okay? The reason they're the number one search engine is they give people what they want, right? So their core focus is user experience. So what they do is people go, imagine when you're a consumer, you're out strolling for the afternoon with your significant other and you decide, hey, let's grab a glass of wine or a pizza. So you look up on your phone, right? Pizza near me. There's the maps. 60 to 80% of people click on the maps. Now, Google wants the user experience, right? So they provide a Google business profile, which if you think about the old Yellow Pages, imagine them importing all of those. And every time a business license gets made, they import that, right? So they are providing for free this listing for you, Mr. and Mrs. Local Business Owner, because you can provide a better user experience for their user, which will continue to make them the number one search engine in the world. So it's this big round and round we go, right? So the more information you give Google about your business, whether it's what categories you're in, your address, your website, list your products and services and photos and write blog posts and all of these things that keeps telling them more and more and more about you, you tell them more about you so they know where to show you in the search. And you prove to them that you are interested in the user experience as well. And they will reward you for that.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Yeah, it's I don't want to call that complex, but you have to understand what it sounds like to me, and correct me if I'm wrong, Marilyn, but we'll use the web analogy. I mean, the little spider web, right? So you've got all these little threads that go out from all the different content and addresses and hours you're open. And when you close all that stuff, and every one of those threads is another information point, right?
Right.
That they can use. So they're using all this, and the more they have, does that make it more? Obviously, it's more user friendly. There's more information, but does that, as the old saying goes, elevate you on the search? So
Yes.
You're coming up near the front. Is that how it works?
Yes. So, and a lot of people think of they don't think of Google Business Profile as that name. They think of Google My Business, and that was what we all used to store reviews. You like my food, you like my service, go give me a review on Google My Business. Well, the Google Business Profile is like the 8th upgrade of Google Places, right? So I said a whole bunch of things of what you should do earlier, and it sounds confusing, but here's the thing. They have a management portal. So you get your Google Business Profile, you go to it, you find it, you say, yep, that's mine. They say, okay, let's verify that you are who you say you are, and this is your business. Great, it's yours, here you go. So you want to tell them in your management portal, they even have a percentage and say, do this, do this, do this. Okay, you're 60% done. Give us more information. Give us more information. So you're not lost, right? And then you have a place to add more photos. Then there's a place to add products if you sell products or services. And under every service, you can have a picture. You can have a description that uses your keywords. Now, assume that say I'm a plumber in, I don't know, Baltimore. I can have a service of, say we do HVAC and plumbing. I don't know. And I do something, I don't know anything about these. To start winter, I have a service. I can make that a service with a picture and I describe it with all my keywords. So what I'm doing is I'm telling Google, look, I offer the service and this is where I offer it. And this is what the service is. So now if someone goes in your area and starts typing that in, they're going to go, you know what? Richard's Plumbing does that. And they'll put you on the map. Now, if you've done more than your competition, you're going to be higher up, whether you have more reviews or not.
Gotcha. So it really comes down to doing your due diligence on the backside, right? Get that 100% complete on whatever they have. And maybe it's updates too, is it over time, right? You're doing new things.
And I suggest that my clients do something like, every week, do a little something. Add a photo, reply to a review, put a new post up, ask a question and answer it. So like every business has a frequently asked questions list, right? So maybe once a week you go ask a question and answer it. So Google starts seeing that, oh, look, he cares a little bit more. Oh, wait, they gave us more information. Now your competition is not doing that, especially if your competition is a franchise. They're not doing that.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point. Because we're always looking for a competitive edge, right? And it's really, sometimes we've built our value, we've dialed in our product or our service, and we got these good things going. We got a great place that you can come to and shop or do whatever. But I think when we look at the digital aspect of business, it's things like this that are they're a necessity, but they're simple in the sense of you can do them, fill this out, you can put it on a management list, if you will, like you said, and hey, every Thursday at 9:30, we're going to go and add a pic to the Google thing, right? So it's really simple, like, yeah, they're ready to go, and you do it, now you did it. So 5 minutes, updated, now you're staying current. You can maintain that ranking, if you will, on that first page if you can get there. I really like that. That's really great. What other aspects to this? Let's get some more advantages, because again, I don't know them all. So give me some more advantages. We just hit a number of them, but is there any more advantages on this by itself?
But by itself, again, we're telling what we want to show up for, right? Also by replying to reviews, that's huge. Whether it's a positive or a negative review, you want to have it as part of your business process to ask for a review from every happy customer or every customer. Then you want to reply to each one of them. So everything you're doing is telling Google more about you. So now what we've done is we've got that going. We're updating it every week. Now, the next thing we want to do is like get backlinks. So go to your local businesses, your Chamber of Commerce, local directories, any directories in your niche, and list your business. Okay, those are citations. Any articles or blog posts you put on your website are mentions, and that's a citation as well, or a signal. So the more of those you have, the higher your ranking as well. And your goal is to be on page 1, because, you know, the old saying, where's the best place to hide a dead body? On page 2 of Google. So
that's right. That's right.
You want to be on, rank 1, 2, or 3 in the map pack, and you will get the majority of the business that those searches.
Yeah, it's so true. So that's really interesting. There's a lot of things you can do from a maintenance standpoint on this to continue to maintain that place, that positioning.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I think complacency is one of the big killers in business. Okay, overall, any business, regardless of what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
People get comfortable. They get to a place and they kind of hit coast. You know, they take the foot off the gas, or they put cruise control on, or however you want to, whatever analogy you want to use, and nothing is static in business. And this topic definitely is not static. You know, and
and let's think about looking at. Yeah, I mean, exactly. Everything is constantly changing. You and I have seen a massive amount of change, and we're still here. So we're taking advantage of it, right? So let's think about, I'm not sure when this is going to publish, but we're coming up on the holiday season, okay? Your retail or your local business, are your hours going to change for the holiday? At any particular time of the year, do your hours change, okay? You will need to make sure that your Google Business Profile hours are correct. And then what happens is when people Google you, there is a red line where Google says recently updated on, and that's the date. So if I'm looking to go to, say, a donut shop or whatever, and there's 3 listed and one's been updated in the last week, guess which one I'm going to check the hours of first? Okay, makes a big difference. Right. So you want to make sure that seasonally you keep it updated.
Yeah, it's a good point. I called a place. I forgot what day it was. Maybe it was Columbus Day. I don't know. And says they're open, but they're not open. You know, on the search, when you go in the Google map, and there you go, open, calling, ringing. Well, I guess they're not open today. And maybe they're never open on Mondays at all, but it doesn't say closed on Mondays. So I should go back across the street and
I had
tell
a client that, yeah, exactly. I mean, so let them know, hey, are you open? Or, leave a note in the door. But I had a client that contacted me and said, we weren't helping them with their Google Business Profile at that point. They said, suddenly on Tuesdays, our walk-in traffic has just dropped. And this was a pet store. I'm like, what do you mean it just dropped? Yeah, so well, go check your hours. Go check your Google Business Profile. What changed? Somewhere it changed that they were closed on Tuesday. So they changed they corrected their hours. And within 2 weeks, their traffic was back up on Tuesday. Just that simple update. But if they checked every Friday, they would know that something had changed. Now, it could be that some nefarious thing happened and someone went, hey, let's make them be closed on Tuesday and see if we can, or whatever. But, you as the administrator, you can keep track of that. You own your Google Business Profile. It is an asset for you. And if you have someone working for you or helping you with it, you make them a manager. So they are not an owner. They can't make a dramatic change to it, but they can do updates to it.
Yeah, that's great. I think of to drive this point home, it's just really important that from an operational standpoint of a business, I mean, you're going to turn the open sign on, right? You got your little neon open sign. You're going to pull that. You do that. I think it's the same thing here because more people are going there than driving by your shop. Right. So everyone is looking. I mean, even me, I'll go and I'll look there first. Right. And I'll get that. Somebody will just go there for the phone number. Because I don't have it saved in my phone or whatever. I'm like, yeah, I'll just find it. So I want to find them, then hit call and then call them, right? And that needs to be correct. Same thing. Exactly. Some are multiple places. Is it in my town or is this the one that's 2 towns over? We've done that. A lot of us have done that. We've called and ordered a pickup or something like that. And we go there. Well, no, that's over in That's 2 towns over. You ordered that pizza. Like, oh,
Yeah.
so I guess I won't be eating my pizza. But it's stuff like that. So I think it's really good from that standpoint. Let's go a little deeper on the digital stuff. So we've got our Google profile, Google My Profile,
Google Business
what do you
Profile.
call it?
Google Business Profile.
So you don't want me helping you. You don't want me helping you at all. Okay, on this stuff. But the Google Business Profile, we kind of got that pretty well dialed in. Let's go to another high level digital asset that a brick and mortar business would have. So what do you got?
Well, clearly you'd have your website, right? And your website is so much more than just like we used to say years ago. It's a big pamphlet. It's a big brochure. And you also want some social media pages, right? I don't mean you need to get to Twitter or TikTok or any of those things, but you need a Facebook business page. You should have a LinkedIn business page or a LinkedIn profile as the owner of the business. But that Facebook, that's where within Facebook, you're going to get a really high quality backlink to your website. And it's a business page. So you have your own personal profile and you create a business page. Okay. From that, you could do many things. But one of the things you can do is start putting out information when you have a special offer. Maybe an educational video. Maybe you had someone at the office had a birthday or you guys had an anniversary. There's all the reasons in the world to celebrate and to reach out to your network. And maybe you have 3 or 4 people that know you, but as you grow your audience, people will start looking at you. And then you join local Facebook groups. And that is a huge way of increasing your digital footprint. And it's good backlinks, right? And you can connect the reviews. So you get reviews on Facebook. Google sees those and gives you ranking for that. So all of these different aspects. So these are 2 of the biggest websites in the world. That's huge, huge domain authority linking back to your website. So that's the other thing I would do.
All right. Let me ask the question every entrepreneur wants to ask you. Okay. Do I have to do that? Because
no, those are things that we can help you with. Yeah.
Okay, good. We're getting to the important stuff now because I look at all this and I have tried and tried and tried and I just have absolutely no interest. Zero. It's like there's no part of my being that wants to do anything with that stuff. It's too much maintenance. It's too much again and again and again. I know there's people that love it and people you can hire, and I'm a big fan of hiring the right people and let them do it as long as they know how to do it, right? So tell us about that because I know this is part of what you do. So let's hear some. Make me happy, Marilyn. Like tell me I don't have to do all this by myself because I can't.
Well, it's like I have a friend that's an attorney, and I'm like, I would never represent myself. I'm going to hire a professional. You're good at what you do in business, right? And there's those of us that are good when it comes to the social media and the marketing. So with the marketing, one of the things that we do with your Google Business Profile is a service that we call Maps Power. Everybody wants to be in the maps. You want to be on the first page of maps. That way you're going to get the majority of the traffic. Again, even Google says 60 to 80% of the traffic clicks on the maps, right? Imagine being a pizza delivery place in downtown Houston, Texas. How many pizza delivery places do you think there are in Houston? Massive.
A couple.
Right? Yeah, a couple. So this particular pizza place was ranking in number 20 to 27, which means there's 3 on the first page, right? That means they're never found for pizza delivery near me, right? So we're working with them with our Maps Power Boost program, and literally in 27 days, their average ranking was 2.6. Now remember, there's 3 on the homepage. They had a lot of them. They had 7 of their search phrases that they were ranked number 1 for. And so what we work with is on a 7 square mile grid, and then we make the grid bigger because Google is very focused on your local area. So in your local area, in a 7 mile around your business, that's what we focus on, your top 7 near me keywords to get you ranked in the first 30 to 60 days. And our clients see a dramatic increase of phone calls website visits, and looking for directions. And you can see in your Google Business Profile Insights, you can see how people are using it. And so what we do is we build off-site citations and signals, which is those really detailed things where we're mentioning you and backlinks and those kinds of things, the relevancy that Google wants to see that helps you rank faster. And then we keep you there.
Yeah, there's my keyword, relevancy.
Yes.
Right? I think you just summed up the whole conversation. It's all about relevancy. And that's true for business, right? We got to be relevant for one. People have to want what we have, right? It has to mean something. I love it. And also, it's always a battle against obscurity, right?
That's
we have to be known. That pizza place wasn't known. They're buried. They only know by drive-by, right? People talk. They had it. They drove it. It's told their friend and all that stuff. So there's a lot of power in that. I bet it would be cool to quantify the numbers. You see an increase like that. That's a bottom line shift.
Exactly.
That's really impressive.
And he would undoubtedly, he said we started this scale program without telling it. He's one of our SEO clients, right? So we work with writing articles for him and getting him back, and we do all the stuff to grow his Google Business Profile. But this is a new program, so it's basically 10x what anybody can do manually is what we're doing for him. So literally, he calls us. He goes, "I don't know what you're doing, but you need to keep doing it. My phones are ringing all the time when I'm open. My delivery guys are constantly running, and I've hired 2 new ones." So
yeah, that's a business saver.
It is.
That takes someone, and that in a 30 to 60 day period, that's like magic from a business standpoint.
Even like our least in the biggest competitive market, our best increase was an 18% increase in phone calls. I should say our worst best was 18% increase in phone calls. Right. How would that impact your bottom line as a business if you increase your phone calls by 18%?
Yeah. That's amazing.
And that would be, and we're getting massive, massive results from this program, and we're very excited about it. I'd love to see small businesses grow and local businesses grow in their neighborhood and in their area, and just sales is more jobs, more profit. So business growth.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's such a great way to, again, you're battling against obscurity. No one knows you got a problem. You can't sell anything. You're kind of stuck. You're in a building. You're stuck there, right? You can't roll around. You can't roll your store around, unless you got a food truck. Unless you got a food truck, then you can roll the food truck around. Okay, but now you got to tell them where you're at today. Okay, so you're going to update all the time. But that really is the thing, right? Like to be able to go out, to be there, go out, have someone that offer the service that you do, and start to increase, like you said, the low end was 18%. Like 18, a 20, a 22, a 25% increase. That's massive on that scale. It's massive really anywhere, but that scale, you feel it. Because if you lost 25%, you might be locking the door forever. Right?
That's
so
true.
Just think of that. It's so important to understand. And with data, so this is all data, right? You're entering stuff, you're entering information, you're in it. Oh, but it's all data. So as the saying goes, it's the new oil, right? Data is incredibly valuable. The more data you really give. Like if I'll jump back for a second, when you talked about the reviews and responding to reviews, good and bad, or I should say bad, of course, and good, I don't always think about responding to the good reviews. But when you said it, I'm like, you should thank someone for giving you props, right?
And it's a perfect opportunity to mention your keyword in your city. Thank you, Richard, for visiting Marilyn's Pizza in Houston, Texas, in the Woodlands neighborhood.
I love it.
And that way you've just fed Google another set of keywords, and I've thanked you for your review. It's a great opportunity to just seed a little bit more information in there.
Because I don't know this, but if you do that, does that person get notified they got a response to the review?
Yes.
They do?
Yes.
Okay, that's really cool.
Yes.
Because people then go back and read that.
Exactly. And that's the beauty of a
Wow.
bad review. So in a bad review, when I'm going to a place that I've never been to before, I'm going to read those 1-star reviews. Because 9 times out of 10, somebody had a bad day and it wasn't the business. Right?
Right.
What is the thing? If you have a bad experience, you tell 7 people. If you had a good one, you tell no one. So Google reviews gives us an opportunity to get both. But those bad reviews, I see what the business had to do to try to make it right or explain what happened. Right? So I get how they see and would react to future customers. Or I see what that person said and think, okay, in the grand scheme of things, they were having a bad day. Right? Not the business. And then the reply confirms that to me. If you get 100 5-star reviews and you've got 2 1-stars, I'm thinking somebody had a bad day, and it probably wasn't your business. Read the room.
And I also think no one has all 5-star reviews. You got to have a 3. You got to have a 2 because they're humans. They're people who one thing, the fork was dirty and they're mad, and they're going to give you a 3-star because some poor guy who's been washing dishes for 9 straight hours missed something on a fork. You know what I mean? It's like you're gonna brutalize them, okay, on Google. So I don't know. People can be pretty vindictive at times, but it's so important, the response, because the big thing that we teach is like, when's the best time to address a problem? There's only there's only one word answer, and that's immediately.
That's right.
Do it right now.
It's not going to get problems. Not going to get better over time.
That's right. Problems are opportunities. If that's a problem, go legitimize it. Make sure it's not some goof. Just saying stuff. I have a book review. I have these great book reviews on my book. Then I have like this 1-star, and you read it. I'm like, this guy didn't even read the book, but he's going out. It's just some personal hatred there. Okay. And Anonymous was his name. Have you ever had Anonymous check into your stuff? So he's out there or she's out there. But, you get that.
When you could have disgruntled former employees. It's just silly stuff.
Exactly. So the point is you address it. They're not really going to do anything back and forth. I love that the engagement aspect is important, right? Because you don't always think of it. You're like, I got all these reviews. But if you start responding to good and bad, like you just said, Marilyn, what starts to happen is you're building your group, you're building credibility, you're building that that engagement, right, for your business. So, like, again, I honestly didn't think about that. I know people will respond to a bad one, but I never thought about the good ones. It's like you're mad because not enough people leave you good reviews, yet you don't even reply to the good ones. So you're both at fault, kind of, Because here's the thought: this is totally random. So if you're responding to a lot of reviews, and people see that, don't you think they're going to like maybe leave a good review so they get responded to?
Yeah.
Is there that? Do you think there's like that? Oh, I'd be like, they talk to me, so talk to me.
Yeah.
But it's kind of cool.
Well, and there's this whole law of reciprocity too. I came to your restaurant. You gave me a really good service, so I feel like reciprocity. I should give you a review, and then you reciprocity reply. Now, keep in mind what I said in the very beginning. The reason your Google Business Profile needs to be updated is because Google's main thing is user experience. Everything you do, you reply to those reviews and explain things. You're showing that you want the future clients to have a good user experience. And that's the bottom line. You're relevant because you care.
Right. That's so good. That's really, really good to think about. That's as an entrepreneur, that's how we need to think.
Yep.
Okay, that understanding how this tool actually works. What's the actual purpose? We get that it's showing our store, it's showing our hours, but like what's behind? What's the method? What's the method to this, and how do we the why so that we can fully exploit it, capitalize on it completely to help build and grow our business, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's good. That's really good. Oh man, this has been awesome. Okay, so I'm thinking, I don't know what I'm thinking. I'm thinking like I never did any of that for any business I had. No one ever told me, Marilyn. Nobody.
Sorry.
All they would tell me is we get 1,500 impressions every day on your business, on gyms. I remember I had my gym. What a nightmare. And I'm like, impressions? What is an impression?
Remember
you can't
when
tell
we
me
used to count
1,500
hits?
people. Right. But I'm like, 1,500 impressions. I'm like, you tell me 1,500 people are looking for a place to work out every day? I don't believe it. Okay.
No.
I'm going to call this a lie. This is some nerd speak. Okay. And they're showing these little numbers on a graph. I'm like, and who was it? It doesn't matter. But I'm like, how does that convert to money?
Well, what's so funny is when you look back at that when somebody opened your website, if you've got 50 elements on your website, and an element may be a little bit of text or a little image, if there's 50 on your homepage, you just got 50 impressions or 50 hits when I visited your website. So that's not 1,500.
Yeah, it's just so, where were you like 15 years ago, Marilyn? I mean, geez, you were doing this. You were around.
I was doing this.
But yeah, I couldn't, I'm telling you, and I'll be honest, I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed. That's why it's called sharpen the spear, because I got to be sharp. But I could never figure it out. And they would never tell you because they used it as a selling point, this impression stuff. So they use your ignorance against you to get you to pay $500 a month or whatever it is and drive. And it's like, it was so confusing. And like you said, we both been around it long enough. We saw the Wild West of websites, right? Everything was okay. Oh my gosh. It was just in the early 2000s. It was wild. I have
the
a
Wild
gentleman
West of backlinks. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just the whole thing is crazy. But I know the gentleman who actually published the first website ever. Okay. I talk to him every couple of days. The very first, I'm like, dude, seriously, I can show you. It was 1993.
Yeah.
He did the first website ever. So this guy knows something about websites. He's still in this stuff. But it's like us, we've been around. And I talked to him about the same thing. Now he calls it building a system, not a website. Because now it's a whole different game. You got to take people through a journey and go to here, to here, to here, to here. So that's a whole nother conversation another time. Yeah. But what we did today, I love it because we took one aspect that I think is a critical aspect for every brick and mortar business out there. Like to understand exactly how this works. I think you shared all this. Now, so let's do this now. I wanted to be able to get in touch with you to help you because like I said, ain't no one going to do it on their own. Okay.
That's right.
They're not going to do all this stuff. And if you could do this for them, this is huge. Okay. So I want people to be able to, how do they reach out to you? How do they get in touch with you? What's the next steps for everybody?
Absolutely. And the one thing I want you to remember is that business is going somewhere. And if it's not going to you, it's going to your competition. If you want help and you want to learn more about your Google Maps, Google business profile and how to rank on the maps, go to mapspowerboost.com. That way you can see what we do and our results, and then you can reach out to me and schedule some time on my calendar. Okay? You can find me, Marilyn Jenkins, on LinkedIn or on Facebook. But the best place to see what we're talking about and how to really, really start making money from your Google business profile is mapspowerboost.com.
I love it. We will put that in the show notes for sure. I would take advantage of that. I would look at that website because who doesn't love stats? Who doesn't love data? Right. I want to see things. When you can show the improvement like that 18% and that whatever, that's what I want to see. Real conversions, right? Real-time things that are happening, not these fantasy numbers. Like, let's deal with what's real with something as simple as Google My Business Profile. Is that what it is? Or just Google Business Profile? I'm going to have this down by the time we're off. Google Business Profile. Okay, so everyone knows I don't use it. Okay, so but I really want to encourage everyone to take advantage of this because this can be a huge, imagine 15, 20, 25+% increase on your traffic. Whether it's phone calls, deliveries, walk by, just like it's amazing. It's amazing. Yeah. So this is not something you want to sweep to the side. It's easy.
Exactly.
You got someone to do it for you and get it done and maintain this. If you listen to this whole podcast today, you have the potential to have a 25% increase in your business because you spent 30 minutes here. How about that?
That's right. That's right.
That's amazing. Okay, that is awesome, powerful stuff. So, Marilyn, thank you so much for joining us today. This has been so informative. I love it. I appreciate your professionalism. I'm glad you stayed in the game all this time. It's awesome because there's reward, just like me. When you do it long enough, you figure out some stuff. I never figured out Google business profile. See, I think I got it now.
Richard, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
You bet, Marilyn. Thank you so much. All right, guys, we'll see you on the next one.